welcome everybody. This is going to be the training seminar for sales, basic sales training for life insurance products, final expense products that we're dealing with. And let's just go ahead and get started. These are just basic things in any sales job, any sales position, over the phone to help you close deals. Just like some of these little things that I'm going to go over. You guys that couldn't be here with us today, go ahead and get your pen and paper ready and start taking notes. And that's one thing I just remembered. Okay, first things first, inflection in the voice. What that means is when you're asking somebody a question or when you're addressing somebody, there's a certain tone in your voice. Try not to have an inflection in your voice. To give you an example of an inflection would be if you're addressing somebody by their first name, say their name is Mary, and you say, "Hi, Mary," that would be an inflection. You're actually asking them if you're Mary. "Hi, Mary," that's inflection. You want to say, "Hi, Mary, I'm calling from XperiOn," whatever the case is, and you go along with your script. So that's first things first. Same thing with any question you ever ask them. Are you looking for a final expense product for yourself or for a family member? You want to try to watch that inflection in your voice because, especially when you quote somebody and you speak a certain way, what happens is you're sounding like you're unsure of yourself. You sound like not a statement; it turns into a question. So try to watch that in your script, whatever you say each sentence. Just watch the inflection in your voice. So that's a basic thing. The next big thing is alpha dog wins the battle. What this means is you have to take control of every conversation. Every client that you ever speak to, you're going to ask them a lot of questions. And most of those questions, most of the clients will probably try to skip some questions, or maybe they'll try to rush you and create their own process. You take control of that conversation. We do things same way, same procedure. We have to follow a legal format. This is what we tell our clients. Everything is done by regulation. We have to follow a legal process. If you're serious about this product, you do have to go through the questionnaire just like everyone else. So if they cannot answer a question for you, do not move on to the next question. If you ask them a question and they're not giving you the answer and you move on to the next question, 9 times out of 10, they're going to bullshit you in the end and they're not going to give you the credit card. They just ran through the information, they get a quick quote. And that's not what we do here. We're not here to quote people, we're here to sell people. So we're here to close deals. We have multiple options for these clients. And as we get further and further into sales, in the training with the procedure of selling, you guys have a better understanding of how we're going to offer these different products to clients and what's going to be their best option. So basically, what this is overall is take control of that conversation. Do not let them control you. Do not get nervous if they ever ask you anything. Okay, that's a great question. I have an answer. Put them on hold. Everybody is around to help you. Anybody can answer these questions. Okay? Another thing is posture and authority. Now, certain way that we walk, certain way we sit in our chairs, and authority that we have inside of us, basically sets you up for either failure or success. If you're slouching back in your chair and you're taking your time, you're calling people, you're kind of dragging your foot around, that's pretty much what your paycheck's going to look like. It goes hand in hand. When you see the people that are on the edge of their seat, always writing something down, those are the ones that are usually making deals. There's a reason behind that. This is not luck. There's no luck involved in any of this. This is all procedure and strategy, which everybody's going to learn little by little as you go along. So that's a big one. And same thing, authority goes hand in hand. Whatever you feel inside your mentality, that's what you're going to bring out to these clients. If you had a sad day yesterday, or if you have family trouble, anything at all, that will come out in your voice when you talk to these people. We're dealing with something serious, and we're here to help people. They don't need to be involved in our negativity, let's say, per se. So that goes hand in hand with authority. Take authority. You're at work. We're serious. We're here to help people. Anything that happens outside of these walls can always be resolved. But if you're not doing what you got to do here, then obviously it's going to be worse for you out there. So that's number one. And And then we have be a pro at asking questions. This is pretty much our whole concept. Get as much as information as possible. Because the reason, especially with life insurance, with medical questions, a lot of their histories, you have to ask them in many different ways if they had any major conditions, which again, you're going to get into that, but just remember, be a professional at asking questions. Because that is your main point of your job. Asking questions, getting answers to those questions. This is how you complete applications and close deals. One of those questions just happens to be, what's your payment information? How are you going to be paying for this when you are approved? Another thing that's important with asking questions, you have to have everything accurate, because that can mean the difference between a customer getting accepted and denied from the insurance company. That's going to further our commissions, that that deal was not closed, so you're not going to get paid for it until they get approved. So it just delays the process for everybody. So just be a professional asking questions. In your mentality, keep it a customer service mentality. Don't think in your mind that you have to make a sale or else you're going to lose your job. Just keep going with the process. The sale is going to come. As long as you keep doing the same thing every time. Now with these people, if you come off as really salesy type, they don't like that. If they think for a second you're getting something out of this, out of them buying it, they're not going to buy anything from you. So you let them know, you assure them, listen, Mary, I get paid here by the salary. My job is to help you find the best plan. This is pretty much my best option is. Plus, we get paid on retention. So if you don't keep the policy for more than 3 months, we don't get paid on it anyway. So pretty much, you're not lying to the customer. It's pretty much true. If they cancel the policy within a few months of time, you're not going to get paid on it regardless. So it assures them that you're not just selling them anything. You found them something that they were looking for, and it's an A-rated company. You're behind that product. So that basically, keep that in your mind. You're helping people out. People need us. They need us more than we need them, believe it or not. Law of numbers. Any phone sales, you're going to go through a lot of people. You're going to talk to a lot of people. You're going to get more no's than yes. Why? That's just the name of the game. But what you do, you just keep going till you get those yeses. The more people you talk to, the more applications you go all the way to the end to, the more ratio you have of closing. Now in this business, with these, on books, they say 1 out of 3 deals should close. Everybody that you speak to as an agent, completing the application from the beginning all the way to the end of where they have to get the payment information and the confirmation email to e-sign, that has to, that's considered going all the way through the process. 1 out of 3 of those will always close. When you get better and better at what you're doing, obviously you're going to put your own personality to it. That ratio can increase. 2 out of 3, 3 out of 3. I mean, that's up to you. But 1 out of 3 has to, by law. If we're not closing 1 out of 3 pitches that we're going through, something that we're doing is wrong. If we get a lot of legitimacy concerns, meaning a lot of people that do not believe you, or they say, they're not going to say, I don't believe you. They're going to say, I need to speak to my husband. I need to speak to my wife, a family member. I need more time to think about this. And which really means, I don't believe you. Or they'll say, I don't feel comfortable giving my credit card over the phone. Is this a scam? Anything of that nature, that will, that's going to happen. But we got ways around that. 1 out of 3 of those is always going to close. Now, the main thing as well is stick to the script. We're going to have a script. Right now, what it is our application is online. With different companies, it's a different quotes. But the full application, getting all the information is pretty much the same. So that's the questionnaire part of it. But throughout that whole process, there's going to be a script. And what you guys don't have in front of you now, you will later on this week or next week, whenever we're ready to get in there. We'll have the scripts in front of you. Basically what the script is designed to do is not only create urgency for these individuals, but also it also ends that legitimacy. So you're not going to have that legitimacy concern at the end of that call. If you get a lot of people that keep saying, I feel like you're doing something wrong in the beginning of your script. You got to build a rapport with these people. So if they're telling you over and over again that I do not trust you, or I don't want to give you my credit card, I need to speak to my wife, you're doing something wrong. And which is not a bad thing. You know, it happens. That's the only way you're going to learn. Your job is to pick up on that and come up to management, come up to somebody, and everybody's here to help you. Say, hey, what am I doing wrong? All these calls are being recorded. So we can easily go back and pull the recording and see what went wrong in the conversation. Like I said, one sentence can create legitimacy. You know, you stutter on one sentence or you sound unsure of yourself in one way, it can create legitimacy for the entire script. You could have been perfect all the way through, but you sounded unsure on one point. Now you're asking for the credit card and they feel unsure of themselves. So then that goes with the next one, which is confidence is key. Be confident in yourself and your product and your sale and your script. You got to know, you got to kind of brainwash yourself. You know this process is going to work. You know you're going to make money. Just keep doing the same thing every time. Do not change anything. Once you start changing stuff, now you're messing up your ratio. You're doing things outside of the box, which most of the time does not work out. You might make a little sale here and there, but long term, you're not going to make it. So be confident in what you're talking about. Obviously, this is not something where I expect you to just jump on the script and do what I do and sell the thing, no problem. But it's a 2-week learning curve, and you're just going to get better and better as you go along. I mean, you have skills I don't have. You have skills. Everybody here has skills that each other we don't have. So that's why we all work hand in hand. And anytime there's any problems with making a deal, there's people around to help you close. Tie-down questions is a big one as well. Tie-down questions is a question, basically, I call it bullets in the gun. In the beginning, when these people speak to our appointment setter, they let them know they have a valid checking account. They let them know they can afford a certain amount of money, they want a certain amount of coverage, and they told them when they want the policy to start. So when you're getting on the line with these clients, before we quote them, or after we quote them, depending on what the question is, we want to use those at the tie-down at the end. You know, as soon as you give them a quote, let's say your quote is $115 a month, sir. Now, again, you know, this is something that was affordable for you, correct? You stated you can afford $100 a month. This is $98 a month. You said this is something in your price range, correct? That's a tie-down question. You're asking them something you already know, but they're confirming it with you. So at the end, they cannot tell you, oh, I can't afford it, because they just told you that they can afford certain amount of money. Pen and paper is a big one. When we put them on hold, we come back with a quote. We're going to say, okay, I have great news for you, Mary. Found your policy with such and such. This is a such and such company. Go ahead and grab yourself a pen and paper. Take your time. When you're ready, let me know. I'll continue on with all this information. They ask you, oh, no, that's fine. I'm driving. Or, okay, just when you get a chance, give us a call when you're ready. This is a lot of detailed information, and I want you to have some of this information down. What that does is, we don't care if they write it down or not. We want their full attention. When people stop and put you on hold to go get a pen and a piece of paper, especially at this age, they're interested in what you have to say. They're not just saying yes till the end, till the card question comes. So, it actually, and it helps your legitimacy. All these little things help your legitimacy. This is the reason, if we use all this, at the end, they're not going to, most likely, most of them are not going to say that I don't believe you. Or they're not going to tell you I need more time to think about it. We're looking at all their options. They're grabbing pen and paper, they're serious. You know? Now, if they're really old, you can understand. A lot of these clients are very old and they have problems writing or anything like that. Do not be afraid to get a family member on three-way. No, that's fine. Let's go ahead and get a family member on the line. What's the best number we can reach them? Let them help you out with that. No problem. Get them on the line right away, because if they're that old and they cannot, you know, basically, we cannot sell to somebody that's not in the right state of mind. You know, if they're senile or something like that, it would be illegal for us to sell them a policy that they do not understand. You know, for them, they're just going through the process, but we have to make sure they understand what they're getting. And with this product, it's pretty much simple. You know, you're paying a certain amount of money, you're getting a certain amount of money back. You know, when you pass away, it's final expense. So that's pretty much what the pen and paper is for. Now, this is a really good one. I'm going to let my associate Breeze, if you want to come up here, and this is a really great little song for the Asians. Put it in your head. It works out good.
Yeah, no, it was just something I was looking up. And, you know, the Row Your Boat song, they got a little saying that says, you know, when you get discouraged and you feel like everybody's telling you no, just play the song in your head. It goes, no, 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 yes. No, 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 yes. So basically, majority of the time you're going to get no's, but amongst all those no's, there is a yes.
Yeah. You have to go through the no's.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Exactly. I appreciate that. That was really good. That's why I want to put
sure
that right on top.
No, I'm just kidding.
Because that is gold right there. It's gold. This will help everybody out. There's no need to get discouraged. You're going to have days where you're going to speak to a bunch of assholes. It's the name of the game. The next day, you're going to speak to a bunch of people that are laying down, closing. So, roll your boats. Now, this is one thing I want everybody to write down. Actually, put this on the top of your page. Put this at the very top. This is something that I should have put at the top of this. It's actually, hands down, the most important thing. Okay.
yes.
Confirmation number. Our appointment setters are trained to give every client a confirmation number of their own. For the company, it's the same number. Right? It's the same number for us. For them, it's their own number to identify a credible source. What that means is, when you first get the call transferred over to you, and you say, "Hi, Mary," you introduce yourself. You right away confirm the confirmation number. You say, "Okay, great, you were speaking to Charles, our appointment setter. Let me just, before we continue on with everything, let me go ahead and confirm your confirmation number. I have it here, and whatever the number is, let's just, I'm going to put one up here. It's going to be DXP6100. Okay, that is the confirmation number. They're going to say, okay, you confirm it with them. Okay, I have your confirmation number as this. Okay, great. Now you confirm their name, their address, which is part of the script. You're going to get into that. But the main thing I wanted you to jot down is the confirmation number. Make sure that this right here, it builds credibility a lot. That way, even if they do call us back, which 10% of our callbacks actually turn into sales, even if they do want to call us back, if anybody else tries to contact them within that time, or when you put them on hold to get them a price and they're getting buzzed in with other clients, they're going to ask that company, "What's my confirmation number?" They're not going to have this number. They're going to hang up the phone immediately, and they're going to put their trust in our company, because we're the only ones that gave them a confirmation number. And we tell them this is by law through the state of whatever their state is, that you have to receive a confirmation number. Any licensed agency that's credible in the business will have this confirmation number. They cannot confirm this number with you, hang up the phone, do not continue with any of your information. Now, the true objections. People are going to tell you all types of things. My son just got into baseball practice, I have to pay for equipment, I have to get my car in the shop, whatever the case is. Get the true objections. Because a lot of people they're not going to tell you the real problem, because subconsciously they'll know that you're going to say something and resolve that problem. They're not going to have nothing else to say to you. So you got to kind of get it out of them, and there's a way to do it. The true objections. Now, keep in mind, I want you guys to write this statement down. Life insurance or final expense, any type of life insurance, is the only expense that any individual will have that will cover all your other expenses. Okay, life insurance or final expense products is the only, you can say life insurance, don't even put final expense, it goes hand in hand. It's life insurance. It's the only expense that an individual will have that will cover all of their other expenses. Meaning at the time of death, God forbid something happens to these clients, they're covered. All their little expenses that they've been paying all these years, that 80% of these people are backed up in debt, this is the only expense that's going to pay that off for your family. You know, so they don't have a burden on them. And this is the main thing of what our product is. So we don't put a burden on people's families when they pass away and they have mortgages, their homes, everything get liquidated. To keep that from happening, we sell this product. We help people out. That's why I was saying people need us more than we need them. A lot of these products are offered to individuals with some type of medical conditions. Most of them they cannot get approved through other companies, or the rates are just sky high. You know, this is the advantage that we have over a lot of companies. We can quote them with the correct company accordingly, depending on their conditions, and we can get them the best price in the policy. Our prices are very competitive in the market, and we work with nothing but A-rated carriers. And that's coming from me. You guys know that because as any insurance agent, you want to make sure you sell for an A-rated company. You want to do your research on the company you're selling for. Why? Because your name is on that sale. You're the agent. You're responsible for that person's life. If you sign them up with something they cannot afford, either they're going to lose their house, they're going to be in a worse situation than they were before they spoke to you. That's not our goal here. That's not our goal. Many people need these products, they can afford it. Those are our target customers. Not people that they cannot afford and we're just trying to trick their mind into buying something they don't need. This is not vacations. So that's a big thing that we have. We have a huge advantage on that point. Be slow and patient with these people. As I said, you know, most of these people are elderly. They're in their 40s and up, all the way to their 90s. You know, these people are... And then we have young clients as well, but most of our target clients are older individuals, like I said, with medical conditions that are having a hard time getting qualified. And just be slow, be patient with them. As long as they're meeting all the qualifications with the appointment center, you know that they're serious. So do not rush them off the phone. They're serious. Go through the process like you go through with anyone. And just be patient, and that yes will come. On holds, there's multiple reasons why you would put a customer on hold. The first reason is anytime any customer asks you any question, do not be afraid, do not get nervous. If you don't have the answer to that question, don't dance around it and answer something that's not true. Put them on hold. They appreciate that. Be honest, be real with them. We're all human, we're people. And like I said, that comes back to the customer service mentality. Oh, great question, Bob. I appreciate how you feel. Give me a moment, let me check on that for you. Let me double check that for you. Or let me confirm and verify. However you want to use your words. Basically, what you're telling them is, put them on hold, get the question answered, get right back on the call. Before you quote anybody. That's another reason for on hold. This is very, very big. A lot of companies do not do this. A lot of companies will stay on the phone with the client, give them a quote right on the phone with the client, and then expect to make a close right then and there. That's shooting yourself in the foot. You're offering them the only thing that you have now. Now to get them quoted with somebody else, now it's a hassle. Now they don't want to deal with that hassle again. They'd rather call somebody else. They'd rather call 10 other people because they weren't interested in the first product you brought them. So the reason for on hold is we're searching all of their options. Put them on hold. Let them listen to a nice mellow music. Let us do our job. Our job is to find them the best policy for the best price in their state. So we're going to, when we put them on hold, we get to that point of in our script where we're ready to quote the individual. Okay, great. Let me place you on a brief hold, about 2 minutes. I'm going to submit your application live to all the carriers in the state. When I come back, we'll go over all your best rate quote options, and we can even do a side-by-side comparison. Okay? Put them on hold. Then you give it about a few minutes. When you're on hold, this is the time where you scream out, on hold. The manager or the agent, Rachel, she will come over to you. She's going to ask you a series of verifying questions. Some of it includes their pre-existing conditions. Are they on any insulin? Medications they take. Are they a smoker? All their health conditions. This is why you need to have all your information as an agent. Before you put them on hold, get as much as you can, because at this point of the call, the manager is going to help you you, like there's one, Foresters, they have for diabetics, people with that, and then they have other companies for other type of people with COPD and things like that. So depending on what it is, even we have one company that gives good rates to smokers. They will charge them the same rate as a non-smoker. There's many different things we can do for these clients. So this is something that when you get on hold, the manager is going to come up to you, ask you these qualifying questions. Then they're going to figure out which company to quote them with. You quote them with the accordingly companies. And then you get back on that call. And again, when you come back, there's another procedure I'm going to go over with you guys again. So I'm going to touch on that. I actually put them on hold for a second time. For brief 10 or 15 seconds. I come back, I zip code them. I'll verify their zip code. I'll tell them, listen, Mary, I'm searching all the options in your state. A lot of prices are coming back really high. Other companies are not accepting you with your diabetes. Give me a moment. I see something here that might help you out. Let me just verify your zip code. Verify their zip code. Okay, great. Hold. Put them back on hold. Don't let them cook too long then. Second time, 10, 15 seconds is plenty. Get right back on. Okay, great news. I was able to get you approved through a company, Foresters. They're A-rated, and you go wrong with your script. Now for them, you searched all their options. You did your job. So now that ratio is back 1 out of 3. Now you're not losing on that, right? And then again, the third reason for putting on hold. If you ask the client for their payment information, and they give you anything else other than their payment information, and you have no idea how to rebuttal to that. Okay, great. I can appreciate how you feel, Fred. Hold. Put them right on hold. Get the manager or get anyone in the office, which we're going to have a procedure. They're going to go ahead and be a second voice for you. What they're going to do is get back on the line as the supervisor. Speak to the client. Get their true concerns out. Introduce themselves as a supervising manager. Okay, I'm the programs director here. My name is Jason Fields, and I believe you were speaking to Breeze. Now, what are the concerns that you're having with the policy? Is there something that you do not understand about this plan? Let me explain some more benefits to you. They'll tell you the true objection then. Now, the second voice is going to say the exact same thing the first agent said. You don't have to do nothing different. The only reason it works is because in their mind, subconsciously, now they're being transferred through a company over to some other department. Now they're speaking to a supervisor in charge. Now they feel like they have pull, they've met somebody, they've built more credibility, they feel a lot better now. Then at the end, they'll be like, okay, thank you, Jason, so much for explaining that so better. Let's go ahead and go along with it. It works like a charm. And it's funny because I wouldn't say nothing different from what the agent said. Yeah. I literally would say word for word what the last guy just said, but they believe me because not only am I a supervisor, I'm the second voice. So now they have confidence, they have a whole team behind them. The beauty of everything is this is not a scam. We're selling somebody something that they can really use and they need. And it's a great product. So you can feel confident that you're selling somebody something that's actually going to help them. You're not scamming anybody here. So you can sleep at night good, and whatever you tell these people, never lie to anyone. Do not ever lie about anything. Be honest with them. If they're having a problem with a price or anything like that, again, management is there to help you. If they feel any way at all, on hold is there for you. That is your golden ticket. Before asking for any payment information, 2 things have to happen. Those 2 things. First and foremost, okay, monitoring. Monitoring means you give them the security disclaimer. You tell them, for security purposes, all calls are being monitored and recorded. Or you tell them, you know what I like better? You tell them all calls are being monitored and recorded for quality compliance. And to the best of your knowledge, through the state of whatever state that they're in, everything that you have stated today has been truthful and accurate, correct? And you say that, they're going to say yes. And you verify 3 pieces of information. Okay, great. I have your full name as Larry Johnson. Did you want to add a middle initial to your ID cards as well? Or just a first and last name is okay? Okay, great. I have your address, 7551 North 54th Crossing, Cleveland, Ohio. Is this correct? Okay, great. Now, verify another piece of information. I have your email address, happybubble@aol.com. Is this correct? Okay, great. Then you go in right after the third verification. Okay, great. Now for the first month, are you gonna be putting this on a Visa, MasterCard, or debit? And they're gonna tell you whatever card they tell you. You ask them for the expiration date first. Okay, great. Visa, go ahead with the expiration date first when you're ready. Now, the reason behind the verified, again, you're getting them in the mood to saying yes. You're subconsciously it does something to you. And a lot of these over the phone sales, it has a lot to do with subconscious. Because you don't see who you're talking to. You're just on the phone. Everything happens in your brain. Besides what we tell them to write down, which will be their price, the name of the company, and remember who your beneficiaries are, things like that. But always verify. Now, if they give you an objection, say you hit them with the monitoring. You hit them with a verified, and you ask them for the card, and they gave you an objection. You go to your rebuttals. Okay? Rebuttals are going to be around your cubicles. You're going to have all your rebuttals. Stick to the rebuttal word for word. As soon as you read that rebuttal, get right back into verified, card. Do not give them a chance. Do not ever give them a rebuttal and stay quiet. You're just basically opening a can of worms. You're telling them in their head, what else you got? Okay, you address what they said. The whole reason for that is address what they said, move it to the side, get right back onto your pitch. You're an alpha dog, you're taking control of that call. Okay, great, you're concerned about legitimacy. All right, and then you go into your legitimacy rebuttal. As soon as you do the rebuttal, okay, great, now I have your full name, Larry L. Johnson, is that correct? And your address, again, I have here is blah, 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 blah. Is that correct? Yes. Okay, great. Now you're going to be putting this on a debit, Visa, or MasterCard? Okay, great. Expiration date. Now, anytime, I don't care if you've been here for 2 months, 2 years, 10 years. If you ask them if you did this twice, and they're still not giving you the card, put them on hold. Put them on hold. In the beginning, I want you guys to do it the first time. So you can hear, I'm going to be the one TOing in the beginning, and then Rachel's going to take over. And so you can hear us of what we're saying. It'll help you in the future. You're going to be TOing for somebody else too. And again, you get bonuses for that. Anybody that closes, and if anybody, closes a deal for you, meaning a second voice, you still get your 100% commission. They get paid as a bonus on the back end from the company. That's just a bonus for helping the company out, because we're a whole team. You might help her one day, she might help you another. So it works hand in hand. But the company does give out bonuses for that. And again, I just want to, there's a couple more things I want to touch up on here. Now, so far, does anybody have any questions about anything here? No? Pretty much cut clean, right?
Oh, I have to ask Liz, but the first payment can usually be paid on a credit card, but then you have to ask for the banking account.
Right,
because usually it's going to come out as a bank draft every month, and they would pick the date it would come out.
That's true. The first initial is done usually on a debit or credit.
Or it can be done through your bank account. It just depends whatever they want.
Okay.
But I don't know the different
Most
companies.
Of the carriers,
I'm not too familiar.
Right,
But
most of the carriers, the first month, they like to use electronic, Visa or debit. You can even have a debit card. Then you can, for your future payments, hook it up to your checking account with your routing number. You can do that for future payments. It's never a problem. A lot of these carriers, as long as you give a 72-hour ahead notice of your next scheduled payment, you can change your account. You can put it on, from your checking. If you have a new account, you can change all that. Okay. But I know you're right, though. A lot of them, initial will be the credit card, but then for the future payments will be their
bank account.
Right, and that's when we're going to get through the procedure of each different company, whoever we're selling for, a different process. But it's basically, goes hand in hand. Card, and then after card information, obviously once they've given you the credit card, you can ask them anything you want, and they're going to give you, you go in for your social after that, and, you can have it laid out however you have it. So, that's going to, and again, remember, they're not being charged the time that you take their information. So you tell them that. No, you're not being charged anything right now. They're only going to charge you, the company's going to charge you when you've been approved. So they still have to go through underwriting through the insurance company. Because you have to remind them that right now they're being approved for a product without just going on their word. They're gonna do their own investigation, the insurance company, but we're basically taking their word for most of this information. So just, you know, that you have to make sure, you know. Also, let me just touch up on some more stuff here.
And how long take to get approval?
Approval,
Depends on the company.
depends on the company, their medical conditions, how much information the agent has taken down, and if everything's been truthful. So
That's a big one.
So one day, how many days?
it takes about maybe 3 days to 2 weeks, right? 3 days to 2 weeks
Yeah.
is around time. It can take up to 2 weeks.
7 to 10 days.
Yeah, I would say.
But remember, every time, and this is going to be, again, part of the, you can write this down too. After you close the deal, after we've done the electronic signature and everything, remind the client, before you get off the phone with them, to expect a call from the insurance company. They're going to verify everything again, one more time, just to make sure everything's truthful by the state of Florida, and or whatever state that they're in. Make sure that you receive that phone call. Do not miss that phone call, because if you do, it's going to delay your underwriting process, and most likely you're not going to be accepted. So make sure you expect that phone call within 24 to 48 hours after you sign them up. And that's a big key as well, because if they're not there to answer the phone when the companies call them to verify everything, again, that's another delay in your process. Good. Now you guys know about chargebacks. Chargebacks I'm going to touch upon again. These policies, and it depends on the company, but most of them we have it set up to 2 months. If they keep the policy active for 2 months, we're good. A lot of other companies were still figuring out their chargeback status. For agents, how it's going to work to protect you and the company as well. Well, obviously, we're not going to make you wait 6 months to get paid on a sale that you just made. So how it works is you're going to get 75% of your commission up front on your check. The other 25% is held into a commission account. That commission account, depending on the company, like I said, most of them are 2 months. It could be 3 months. Most of them, like I said, is Mutual of Omaha is our top company. And that's going to be 2 months. So every 2 months, that commission gets released. So after working here for 2 months, you're going to build a pipeline. Meaning every check you get after that, every 2 weeks when you get paid, you're going to have extra coming out of your commission account, extra check. And of course, it's your job to record all your sales. You want to write down your clients' names.
It's not recording the system.
It's recording the system as well, but there's, you don't want to trust clerical error. That's hundreds of dollars out of your pocket. I wouldn't want to be responsible for that. But, computers, sometimes things do happen. God forbid a computer crashes, then we lose everything. So keep that is your responsibility as an agent. Write down each sale that you made, how much money you sold them for, what was the quote, the date, and their phone number. Or you don't have to put their phone number because the phone number is already in the system. As long as you have the first and last name, the date, and the amount of coverage you sold them. And also which company you sold them with. Keep that for your own records, because every 2 months, like I said, after the first 2 months, every 2 weeks, you're going to get not only your commission check for the 75% that's coming up front, but your 25% that was held for the previous 2 months, they're going to start releasing that into your paychecks. Are you guys clear on that, or is that kind of unsure on anything on that? So, and remember, the first 2 months before your commission account starts releasing money, you're still going to make your commissions. But instead of getting your 100%, again, it's 75%. That's the number the company came up with. Other companies, you work for Liberty National. What was their
They gave us 70% of our commissions and 30% was held back, and you didn't get that commission until your commission account reached $3,000. Yeah, so you basically didn't get your commission account until
chargebacks, because what happens
6 months, 7 months into the game, and then now I have $1,000 in that commission account remaining, and I will not receive that back for at least a year. 6 months to a year.
So you see it there,
because they have to allow for chargebacks, because I worked with businesses, so chargebacks could be set out for 6 to a year. So that's, and I have $1,000 in that account. That is my money. Which is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. But we don't work like that. We try to be as fair as possible, but you have to understand that chargeback is a big thing because anybody can come in here as an agent, come here 2 months, 1 month, make a shitload of deals and leave. Now,
Make
there's
crappy
chargebacks,
deals,
we have to pay back a lot more money than what you would have came out of your pocket for. You know, so the company is held liable for 100% of those chargebacks, which is not fair to anyone because, you know, again, why is there a chargeback in the first place? And with this product, there's a very low ratio of a chargeback. But you just have to have that in your mind because you don't want any surprises in this business. When it comes to your money, you want to know why you didn't get your full commission. There was a chargeback. That's why I'm explaining that now. But in this product, this is not like health insurance. This is life, the final expense. You know, by the time we sign them up, we're going to get every type of concern out of them. You know, we're going to flatten them out, every concern out. And it's such a simple thing that, you know, you're getting such amount of coverage for such amount of money. That's pretty much it. You have a company that you're signed up with, and that's what it is. You know, it's not like health insurance where they're going to use the coverage and get pissed off that they didn't get $20 off of a, you know, cast or whatever the case is. So this is something they buy, they put in the car, they never think about it again until something happens. And let me see, pretty much, yeah. One of
Do you have the basic question that we asked about the customer about the health?
yeah, that's all online.
That's online.
Yeah.
I asked them a general to start. I asked them a general question. Is there any health issues that are major that I should be aware of? And they'll usually tell you the health issues that they have. And if they say, oh, no, not really, and you kind of just say, they kind of sound hesitant, like they don't want to tell you or something, just say, no diabetes on insulin, no any heart problems that you might have, just throw a couple options out there, and then they might be like, oh, I had a heart condition like 10 years back. And you'd be like, okay, let me see if that meets the requirements of this policy hold, or something. You know what I mean? Just kind of just throw them out there.
And it also helps because also the people are elderly, they don't remember what they had. They could have
That's
diabetes,
true.
they could have had a heart attack 20 years ago and they don't remember. And when you just jog their memory, so that's good.
Yeah.
And that's with the process, with the companies and everything. You're going to have the full script in front of you. And we're going to get trained on the script as well. This is not the only training. This is just a basic sales training, basic for any type of sales job. You can be selling vacations, you could be selling phones over the phone. I mean, it doesn't matter what you're selling, but this is the key. If you use this process right here, you're guaranteed to close a lot more deals than without it. And that's a known fact. This is something that has worked. This is something that works now. It's been worked for years. This is not something that I just came up with off the top of my head. These are all true professionals that have put this type of process together. I put my little insights and my little twist in there, but the overall objective is the same, to help you close a deal as an agent. So again, there's going to be more training on the script. That's going to be script training. This is just a sales training. After that, you guys are going to get on the lines, get on the phones, and start going through the process. You're going to learn more as you go along because different products, different companies. Again, there's nothing that they can ask you won't have an answer for. You tell them hold. We'll get the answer, we'll get the question answered, get it right back on the line, and they'll appreciate you. So that's that. Confirmation number is up there. And your attitude is everything in this business. Number one, attitude. If you look nice, if you dress nice, you feel good, you're going to feel good, you're going to have a great day, you're going to probably make a good shitload of money. Other way around, vice versa, you're not going to make nothing. If you look like trash, even though you're selling over the phone, you don't feel like money. I like to dress up when I come to work. I keep it formal, business, attire. Fridays, you can have casual Fridays, that's no problem. But the reason behind it is not only that, you look professional where you work in your business and you're building things like that. It changes you as a person. It does something into you, in your mentality. People look at you differently when you go out to lunch. You feel different. You feel like $1 million because you dress like that.
Very important.
And yeah, you are. You should feel like that because you're very important to these people. And that's why I like to have a formal attire in the building. Casual Friday. jeans, that's understandable. That's any office. But this is why a lot of offices do that. Even here in telemarketing, I used to think about, I used to dress in jeans and go to, telemarketing jobs. But then when I got into a real job, that's when I figured out maybe I wasn't making good money because I didn't take it seriously. If you take it seriously, you believe in it, you have confidence, you're going to make a lot of money here. A lot of money. And there's always options to grow. And we'll get into that. Each agent has their own option to grow. I mean, depending on your production and your, basically your want, your fire. Whatever drives you. And your motivation. It all goes hand in hand. Now, the last thing I want to touch up on here is either there's going to be two things that it's going to come down to at the end. Why they didn't buy from you. Why they gave you a no and they didn't give you a yes. Two reasons. Either they're flat out broke. They just don't have the money. They might have said they can afford it. They might have said they want to start it today. But they don't have money. There's people like that. Can't stop that from happening. The other reason, the only other reason that they did not buy from you, when you completed that process and get all the way to the end, they don't believe you. That's it. If they have money and they believe you, it's a sale. If they don't believe you, you didn't follow the process right. If they don't have money, you can't do nothing about that. There's no rebuttal for I have no money, or I have no money and I'm never going to have money. I can't afford it. You wouldn't even be that far into the script with them. They would have been off the line before the agent would even spoke to them. The appointment setter is built to filter those out for the agents. So you guys waste less time. It's not like you're calling these people and you're starting everything from the beginning. Half of the script has already been taken care of for you. By the time they get to you, medical questions, beneficiaries, all everything that they need, as far as their name, their information, how much money they want to spend, and things like that is already out there. You have that information.
Now, what if we get somebody that's, like I had a case, 80 years old, has a budget of $30 a month? We know that we cannot meet that requirement.
Right, so you let them, so the appointment setter
needs to filter that out. Okay.
Yeah, we have that.
Okay.
Appointment setters know.
Just kind of like a cheat sheet that we know, like, 80 years old, like the cheapest kind of policy they can get is this.
I'll be honest with you, for $30 a month, you're not going to find anything.
Yeah.
We can do the best we can. You can speak to an agent, but if that's your price range, you might as well give us a call back when you're ready.
Yeah.
Again, appointment setters are not allowed to quote anything.
Yeah.
So there might be a gray area there, but we're going to work on that. We'll perfect that as we go along as well. And again, I even keep training every once a week. I do webinars, and I sit in training, and I still learn. Till this day, I'm still learning more and more, and that's how you guys should be. Just keep your mind growing, because if you're not growing, you're dying. You're just like a plant. Either going to be growing or you're dying. There's nothing in between that. So keep learning more stuff, more stuff. You grow with your brain, you're going to grow with your pockets. And you grow in life. Why die and do the same thing we've been doing? Let's make a change and do something different and grow together. And we're all a team, we're a family. If there's any type of help anybody ever needs, you have my direct number. You have Rachel here, and then obviously all you agents are going to be working together. For those people at home, I hope you took your notes. Again, there's going to be another training for script training, and we're going to go through all the process and everything like that. That will be the next session. For now, we're pretty much good. Again, do you have any other questions before we cut out? No?
Please let me know when you want to record.
Go ahead.
All right, everyone at home, my name is Victor, one of the partners here. I want to be helping you out with some of the IT, the networking, the marketing, and everything. The last 10 minutes of this video, I just want to go over simple things, fundamental items for executive level, sales techniques. Okay, worked at pretty much a lot of major companies, so I've got to train with some of the best people in the country that actually write books and go across and teach the motivational speaking and how to sell. So really quickly, I'm just going to go over the 5 steps to a sale. Okay, you can write that down. It's pretty simple, and just stick to the script with this. Okay, the first step to the sale, of course, is introduction. Let me write something darker actually, so the people at home can see it. So the first step to a sale is intro. Okay, you got to introduce yourself. introduce your company, introduce your product. Okay, so you're going to introduce yourself. That's pretty much self-explanatory. Hi, how you doing? My name is Victor. I'm one of the partners here. How can I help you?